The movie opens showing Loek spending time in the spirit realm, joyfully soaring through the skies with the spirit of his late brother Nedium as they ride their banshees together. Loek prepares to leave the spirit world, but Nedium calls out to him one last time, asking how he died. Loek explains that he was shot. They could have escaped safely, but he chose to go back for Spider. Loek is overwhelmed with guilt, believing his disobedience caused Nedium's death. Nedium gently reassures him, telling him it was not his fault and that he only acted out of love for his family. Once Loek returns to the physical world, the weight of that guilt still clings to him no matter what he does. He knows he will carry responsibility for his brother's death for the rest of his life. Later, Spider tells Kiri that he wishes he could visit the spirit world the way she and Loek can. Kiri admits that she sometimes wishes she didn't have that ability. Spider manages to lift her spirits, and the two spend time playing together. Elsewhere, Neytiri is shown singing a hauntingly beautiful song as she continues to grieve for Nedium. At the same time, Jake is focused on salvaging firearms from the destroyed human ships left behind after the last battle. Loek and Cyrea join Jake underwater to help recover the weapons. During the search, Loek finds his mother's shattered bow. Jake reacts angrily, ordering his son to ignore it and focus only on collecting guns. He warns Loek never to let Neytiri see the broken bow when they return. Back in the village, the chief confronts Jake, saying that this path is not their way. Ronal harshly criticizes him, insisting that guns corrupt the spirit. She reminds him that the mourning period has not yet ended and accuses him of neglecting his family. Jake responds that spears alone cannot stand against human gunships. Meanwhile, human naval forces, under Colonel Miles's command, search the ocean floor for bodies, convinced Jake is still alive. Miles wants to continue the hunt, but General Ardmore refuses to provide more ships due to his previous failure against the Reef People. Later, Jake presents Neytiri with a new weapon, believing it will help them survive. However, Neytiri refuses, unable to even touch human guns, the same weapons that killed her son. Elsewhere, Loak, his siblings, and their friends ride with the outcast Tolkun Payakan, with whom Loek has formed a deep bond. He is frustrated that Payakan is still shunned despite helping save the village. Loek reassures him that no matter how others see him, he will always consider him a brother. The following morning, while the family is asleep, Spider's breathing mask runs out of oxygen. The family notices just in time and desperately searches for a spare. Once the mask is replaced, Spider begins breathing again, and his siblings embrace him, warning him to be more careful. Suddenly, a horn sounds, and celebration breaks out as the Wind Traders arrive. They are another nomadic clan led by Chief Tonawari. Jake gathers his family and reveals that he and Neytiri have agreed to send Spider with the Wind Traders, believing he cannot survive forever depending on a mask. With them, Spider would be able to live freely. Spider is devastated, saying Jake is the only family he has ever known. Jake's children protest as well, already seeing Spider as one of their own. However, Neytiri angrily insists that Spider will never be part of their family. Later, Jake meets Spider privately and explains that the whole family will travel alongside him with the Wind Traders. The children react positively to this plan. Chief Tonawari objects, reminding Jake that the agreement was only for Spider to join them. But Tonawari eventually agrees when Jake promises to protect their ship. As the vessel departs, Loek asks Jake if he can fight beside him in the next battle. Jake refuses, pointing out that Loek cannot even follow their most basic rule, noticing that his communication device is missing. Elsewhere, Lieutenant Ardmore informs Colonel Miles that Jake and his family have been spotted traveling with the Wind Traders. They begin assembling their forces for an attack. During the journey, the Wind Traders' ship is suddenly ambushed by the Ash Clan, led by Varang, a feared and ruthless warrior. She fires flaming arrows that ignite the ship. Jake and his children fight back, but tragedy strikes when Varang shoots Neytiri with an arrow. Neytiri charges at Varang on her Banshee, and during their intense aerial battle, she is knocked off and falls unconscious into the forest below. Jake's children attempt to escape, but their Banshee is shot down, sending them crashing into the forest. Loek and Spider investigate and witness the Ash Clan slaughtering people with terrifying brutality. Loek aims his gun at Varang but hesitates, unable to pull the trigger. They are spotted, triggering a brutal chase. Loek manages to kill 2 Ash Clan warriors before escaping with his siblings. Varang is shocked by the power of the weapon Loak used and orders her forces to pursue them again. Jake searches desperately for Neytiri and the children, eventually spotting Neytiri's body lying in the forest. Meanwhile, Loak leads his siblings farther away from the Ash Clan. During his search, Jake is ambushed by Colonel Miles and his soldiers, shocked to see Miles still alive. Jake explains that the Ash clan attacked them and is now hunting his children and Spider, who is revealed to be Miles' son. Instead of killing Jake, Miles prioritizes finding Spider and asks for Jake's help in tracking the Ash clan as Spider's oxygen is running low. Loke carries Spider to keep him from slowing down. When Spider begins to suffocate, Loke lays him down and prays to Iwa for help. Miraculously, Spider is able to breathe without his mask. Their relief is short-lived as the Ash clan attacks and captures them. Jake and Miles observe from hiding as Varang threatens Loke, demanding that he teach her how to use the gun. Loke claims that it is empty. When Varang orders the youngest child to be killed, Jake charges in with his bow. Miles points a gun at Varang and orders her warriors to stand down as Jake gathers the children to retreat. However, Varang uses her tail to strike Miles, and the Ash clan captures them again, forcing Miles to demonstrate how the gun works.
What do you want to hit? Well, just go like this. Yeah!
Varang is thrilled by the weapon's destructive power. Meanwhile, a wounded Neytiri returns to her people and is rushed for medical treatment. The Ash clan celebrates their victory with ritualistic dances, while Jake and his family manage to free themselves once more and escape. Neytiri awakens, ignoring her injuries and immediately asking about her children. After regrouping, Jake and Colonel Miles prepare to confront each other again, knowing their conflict is far from over. They sit down to talk, and Miles makes it clear that even after everything is finished, there will be no peace between them. He openly admits that friendship is impossible and that he will continue to hunt Jake when the time comes. As this tense exchange unfolds, the Ash clan searches the skies for them. Soon, figures appear approaching their position, but instead of enemies, it turns out to be their own people arriving to rescue them. Colonel Miles quickly retreats, while Neytiri reunites with Jake and their children. Jake is later informed by his human scientist allies that Spider is somehow able to breathe in their world without needing a mask. Jake immediately tells them to stop investigating, warning that if humans discover how Spider survives without oxygen, it could put everyone in danger. Neytiri later suggests that killing Spider might be the safest option, but Jake strongly refuses. Spider has become like a son to him, and harming him is unthinkable. Instead, Jake proposes taking Spider back to the Reef Village, where they can keep him hidden and protected from human forces. Elsewhere, under direct orders from the general, human forces begin slaughtering Tolkien in large numbers. They harvest a valuable fluid from the creature's highly intelligent brains, intending to sell it for massive profit. Chief Tanawari informs Jake of the massacre, prompting the clan to prepare for war. Tanawari places the blame on Payakan again for provoking the humans and permanently banishes him. Loke defends Payakan, reminding everyone that he fought bravely during the war. However, Jake interrupts and tells his son that obedience is essential. He explains that failing to follow orders is what led to Nedium's death. Loke is devastated, deeply hurt that his father seems to blame him for his brother's fate. Later, Loke wanders off alone, overwhelmed with emotion. Kiri and Saria find him and encourage him not to give up, reminding him that his family needs him and that the strength of their ancestors lives within him. As Spider's body continues adapting to his new, Nabi-like form, he begins to grow a tail, allowing him to ride the creatures of Pandora. Meanwhile, Colonel Miles and his troops raid villages in search of Spider. When this fails, he turns to a backup plan and travels to the Ash clan, bringing a supply of weapons he has captured and brought before their leader. Miles proposes an alliance, offering guns, explosives, and unlimited firepower in exchange for their help in hunting down Jake and his family. Varang is intrigued by his boldness and begins to see him as someone who can fulfill her ambitions. She reveals that Jake's people once destroyed her village, fueling her desire for revenge. With a shared enemy, she agrees to the alliance. Miles arms the Ash clan with human weapons. Back at the Reef Village, Kiri and Spider's growing feelings for each other are revealed during a quiet, intimate moment. However, their peace is suddenly shattered when the Ash clan launches an attack. Spider is captured by Colonel Miles, and Varang knocks him unconscious using her tail. Jake spots the incoming human forces and rushes to warn the village. Miles and Varang arrive with their army, demanding Jake's surrender.
Jake, surrender yourself! I know he's here.
When the Reef people refuse, Miles orders the village to be burned.
Burn something.
Jake steps forward and offers himself in exchange for his people's safety. He is taken away as the clan watches helplessly. Jake and Spider are brought to the human base. General Ardmore confronts Miles about working with the Ash Clan, expressing her displeasure with the alliance. Miles insists they are allies and warns her not to interfere. The humans celebrate Jake's capture, believing they have finally defeated the Na'vi leader. Spider is taken to a lab, where scientists begin testing him to understand how he survives in Pandora's atmosphere, using a hidden piece of metal. Spider eventually escapes his cell. At the same time, Neytiri kills 2 Ash Clan warriors and disguises herself as one of them, allowing her to infiltrate the base unnoticed. After Miles and Varang finish their time together, Neytiri corners Varang with a knife, demanding Jake's location. Miles intervenes, forcing Neytiri to flee as the Ash Clan opens fire. Though she skillfully avoids every shot, one of Jake's human allies arrives in a vehicle and frees him, warning that the military is planning a devastating attack on the Na'vi village. A missile is fired at Jake, but Spider throws himself in front of him. Miles orders his troops to stand down, unwilling to harm his son, but Ardmore overrules him.
You are cleared hot, weapons free.
On it around.
You are cleared hot.
Neytiri destroys the aircraft, allowing Jake, Spider, and the others to escape on a Banshee. Jake briefly considers killing Spider out of fear that humans could exploit his condition. But he ultimately cannot go through with it and instead embraces him like a father. The final battle begins when Jake calls upon his legendary mountain Banshee.
Hello, old friend. That when they flew, there would be blood.
He is coming.
He rallies the reef people and seeks the help of the Tulkun, convincing them to fight back. Before the battle, Jake instructs Loke that if they do not return, he must take Spider and the girls far away to safety. Human airships approach in massive numbers as the Na'vi lie in wait. Suddenly, the Tulkun charge at the human vessels, shocking the army as the gentle creatures turn destructive. Jake orders a full assault, and the Na'vi begin destroying ships from the sky. The battle initially turns in their favor, until Colonel Miles and the Ash Clan enter the fight, shifting the momentum against Jake's forces. Kiri attempts to connect with Awa, but receives no response at first. Spider and the others join her, and this time Awa answers. Sea creatures swarm the human ships, while Toruk leads the Banshees against the Ash Clan. Miles captures Jake's family again, but Jake fights back to save them. As Varang moves to kill Neytiri, Miles restrains her, forcing her to retreat. Jake and Miles face each other in single combat. Spider nearly falls during the fight, but Miles saves him. Jake then helps both of them up and tells Miles he still has a choice, surrounded by the Na'vi. Miles refuses to surrender and instead chooses to leap from the mountain. The story ends with Spider entering the spirit world alongside the clan, where he is finally accepted as one of them. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for watching.